Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, powered by the Difference Media LLC,
and hosted by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, and also sponsored by Jax Crider with PBJ Mortgage, Audra Hooper with Alloy Personal Training at the Gleneagles in Plano and Cassel Hills locations, Diane Cassel with Cassel to Cassel, Traci Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Megan Schaffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured, and by Jeannie Smith with Guardian Mortgage, a division of Sunflower Bank, N.A. The Community Difference Plano was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Plano starts now.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. We are getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving. We're doing a joint show today alongside Scott Johnson, the host of the Community Difference Wylie. I am Nathan Smith, host of the Community Difference Plano, a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. We are so excited to be here with you today. We've got a lot of exciting things in the works. What we're going to be doing today is just giving you kind of pulling the curtain back, giving you an insight of some things that are important to us around the great holiday of Thanksgiving, from traditions to things that we like to do, what we're grateful for, why this holiday is so meaningful. So we've got some great folks here. Scott, of course, is the host of the Wylie Community Difference. Scott with FireBoss Realty. Scott, good morning to you. First of all, happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
You got your. That is a Cowboys shirt, jersey, correct?
The only one I would ever wear is the number 12.
Roger Staubach. Okay, that's fine. You're casual today on your back patio, which I love. It's kind of the spirit that we have today as we talk all things Thanksgiving. So we wrapped up our topic of brand behavioral branding. Golly, I almost forgot behavioral branding for November. Fantastic topic. And as we end the month of November, we're just going to spend time today talking about the things that mean a lot to us around the holiday of Thanksgiving. And so in order to do that, I'm going to bring in our Plano crew. And then Scott, if you'll introduce your Wylie crew. So first of all, with Assisted Living Locators, Miss Traci Duff. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I know you're trying to overcome a cold or flu-like endeavor, so we commend you for being here. Hopefully you're getting better as the moments go by, hopefully.
Yep. Baby steps.
Good deal. And then let's also bring onto the stage here Diane Cassel with Cassel to Cassel. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
You know, it's a beautiful day in Texas. The sun's shining and God woke me up. So
amen.
I ask for more.
Amen. And with PBJ Mortgage, who is releasing a book last Friday. Hope you can buy it on Amazon
Friday.
now. Well, when this is recorded, it'll be last Friday. So you can buy it on Amazon. It's I'm totally blanking on it now.
It's Mortgage 101.
Right
The
there.
secret
There
sauce
it
of
is.
home buying. There you go.
There it is. Bam. Awesome. So we couldn't be more happy for her. And then also from Plano, Miss Audra Hooper with Alloy Fitness and Training. Scott, let's bring in our Wylie folks.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's bring in Janice Greenley with Greenroot Capital.
Good morning, everybody. Happy to see y'all.
Good morning, Janice. And also,
And we've got Harvey Loosier with Twilight Cleaning Services.
Twilight Cleaning Services. Well, I love that. So we're not gonna waste any time here. We're gonna jump right in And what we want to do again is just have a casual conversation around the great holiday of Thanksgiving. So I'm going to start. Let's just kind of go around the horn. We'll start with you, Scott. What is your favorite Thanksgiving tradition, and how has it changed, or perhaps stayed the same over the years?
Well, probably the favorite Thanksgiving tradition is fire station Thanksgivings, because all the families come up and all of that. But I retired last November 30th, and so I think those fire station Thanksgivings have come to an end for me. Unless both my boys are firemen, I can still go up to their fire stations. But I think from now on, it's not going to be my crew having all the families. That'd be a pretty big change.
I bet firemen eat pretty well, I imagine.
We do, and everybody brings their own special family recipes and desserts and dishes, and so you sample a little of everything there.
Wow.
Traci, what about you?
Yeah, ours is a little different. My father-in-law started this years and years ago. My husband's parents were divorced, and he knew he could never get the whole family there on Thanksgiving from both sides of the blended family. So he started a tradition of having Thanksgiving the weekend before. And it was amazing. Our record number of family togetherness was 52 people.
Wow.
And it was a whole weekend of
A lot of people.
52 people.
52. It was crazy.
It's also a lot of food.
A lot of food. He would do the turkey or turkeys, and we'd have ham. And then
It's like there's going to be like 3 turkeys at least. If you
in the blank. Yeah,
No leftovers with 52 people, guys. Just saying.
No, there really was. It was amazing. We all got to go home with stuff. Yeah, but
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was still an amazing weekend.
Diane, what about you?
Well, we kind of had the same thing going on in our family. We have a blended family. And so from the time that I can remember, the boys were 7 and 9 when I decided to become a single parent. I like to put it that way. And I didn't want them to have to go to 2 different households in one day. I didn't want them to suffer for our mistakes. So what I did was, let's celebrate on Friday. Let's celebrate the day after, because for me, y'all, and I know that y'all feel the same way. It doesn't really matter when you celebrate. It's just that you celebrate. And so the big tradition for us, and even though the boys hated it at first when they were younger, we went around the table and I asked everyone to tell me one thing that they were grateful for. And of course, the boys were just like, I can't believe you're making me do this, Mom, really? And what is the one thing that has changed in that is that they've kind of grown into that and matured a little bit. Praise the Lord, finally. And they kind of think about it ahead of time so that they're not caught off guard. So they actually do say something better than, I appreciate the sunshine. So they put a little thought into it. And I love just hearing the different things and how things evolve over the years.
Janice, favorite Thanksgiving tradition over the years?
So mine's probably going to be different than everybody else's. But years ago, my older sister decided she was in charge of the entertainment for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Not sure where this is going, but
it's good. No, it's good. So she would bring a craft for all the kids to make. And then she brought bingo and prizes. And then my dad is the caller and she brings props. And so we have like little glasses and random things for our head. And we do bingo and prizes every year after Thanksgiving dinner. And everybody has a blast and you got to hurry up and win so you can get the best prizes on the bingo prize table. So we love that.
That's having cash and prizes is a really nice.
That's right.
It's a really nice addition to Thanksgiving. Harvey.
Well, my favorite Thanksgiving tradition is we started camping. We would generally leave out on a Wednesday and just camp kind of like everybody else that's been talking about. We have a blended family, so we would start off camping somewhere, and then all the kids would join up with us on Friday and spend the rest of the weekend with us. And so that's kind of my favorite tradition for the most part. It's changed a little over the years, we're actually going to the deer lease now instead of going to different state parks and doing that kind of a camping style. So, but still the same concept.
Camping sounds fantastic.
Right.
That sounds a lot of fun. Audra.
Well, my favorite is actually playing games. I grew up playing dominoes, chicken foot, if anybody knows what that is, with my grandparents.
I know exactly what that is.
So we would sit around, hours. I was the one that would start it in the morning when I was a kid, and I would sit there, just waves of people would come in and out playing games, cards. And that tradition has kept up because I actually married into a family who's also gamers, and they like to play cards. So I've taught them games that we played growing up. They've taught me their traditions, and we've married them all. It's funny because in my family, we were all pretty polite. It was just fun. And, oh, you won this time and I won that time. My husband's family, it's a mixed bag, but you've got a few that subscribe to the philosophy, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So it's become a little bit spirited.
Sometimes
so I struggle with my own kids.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I struggle with my own kids because they're like, on one hand, you're teaching them integrity by, playing these games and being a good winner or being a good loser. And on the other hand, they're like hiding stuff under their seat and trying to beat Papa. So,
That's funny.
Well,
I love that.
That's so funny.
That sounds fantastic. Jax.
I think my favorite Thanksgiving tradition, and it kind of shifts over the years, but we always have kind of included people that may not have been included elsewhere. So whether it be family members that may not have had places to go because their kids are too far away or something like that, like aunts and uncles or cousins, or my brother one year in college, he had 3 Chinese exchange students come join us for Thanksgiving. I had a friend who her family lived far away. She's joined us for Thanksgiving. And so it's kind of the blend of like families and getting to learn new things, having people bring new dishes, stuff like that, and just kind of sharing, right, with other people. And I guess I didn't really realize it was a tradition until I thought back about all of our Thanksgivings, and I'm like, yeah, more Thanksgivings than not, we've had more people than just like our immediate family. Like this year, it's going to be not only all of like my family, but also we're going to my brother's in-laws house, and it's going to be all their family too. So it's going to be like a big blend of people. And I just think that's a great way to spend Thanksgiving.
Yeah. For me, football is actually a big part of our Thanksgiving when I'm with my parents, that side of the family. Growing up a Cowboys fan, of course, my dad is not a Cowboys fan. So it's all of us versus him, which is nice. And his team is the Redskins, which I refuse to call the Commanders.
Yep.
Hope that doesn't offend anybody, but
True that.
And they're actually good this year, and we're terrible. So it'll be great. We actually play them on Sunday, but football's a big part of it. Games are also a big part of it. Usually around Thanksgiving, my grandmother has not encouraged everybody to start singing yet. That usually comes around Christmas, so we hold off on that. But marrying my wife and they're not a football family at all, so it's different. Trying to, they're really big into games, or they which I like too. I can get pretty competitive, and so it's kind of a mixture now. We haven't really started our own Thanksgiving tradition like we have with Christmas because, Thanksgiving is still kind of a massive family event as it is for most people. So like, at least with us, if we're with my parents, it's the same type of, food, same type of traditions, football, etc. If we're with her parents that year, it's more games and obviously food and hanging out, etc. So, we've got about 3 minutes before we go to break. So this is going to be a pretty quick question, and I'll lead it off here. What's the go-to dish that you either are required to make and bring, or you demand is at the table when you sit down? It's got to be there. So we got about 3 minutes to try to get through everybody before break here. So just kind of give me, 5 seconds on it. For me, it is the mashed potatoes that my grandmother made. I have now been tasked. I've learned the recipe over the years. I make them. They're the best you've ever had, and they are a must moving forward. Jax.
My dad's stuffing. He makes it every year. My grandma made it before him. It's a family tradition.
Stuffing. Okay. Scott.
Pink stuff.
What is it?
It's stuff.
Pink stuff. That is Texas as Texas gets.
Yeah, pink stuff was one of the first fire station finds I found. Cody Newman brought it. Thanks for the hit, Cody.
What is pink stuff?
Yeah, we need a little bit more on that.
I have no clue.
Pink stuff is cherry pie filling with whipped cream, and I don't know what.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know what you're
My
talking
family
about.
made it with Jello and whipped cream, like Jello mixed with whipped cream, but fruit salad, fruit cocktail, all that good stuff.
Man, there's no fruit in it other than the cherries in our house.
Okay, well, ours had a different way, but I see you, Scott. I hear you.
Tracy.
Yeah, I have to make the cream corn casserole, whether I want to or not. If I don't make it, I am shunned. Everybody's asking, where's the corn casserole? So, yeah.
That sounds delicious. Diane.
Sweet potato casserole.
You can't go wrong.
It's crazy. It's crazy because the boys just fell in love with it the first time I ever made it, and probably because it's sweet, more like a dessert than it is a vegetable.
Right.
And one year, I'm going to follow what Tracy's saying. One year, I chose to change the menu and not include the sweet potato casserole.
How dare you?
Oh my gosh. You'd have thought that I stabbed them in the head. Seriously. Yep. Never heard the end of it. So it's got to happen. Sweet potato casserole.
That was a big hit at my family too.
Janice.
So I do all of the cooking for Thanksgiving, but I absolutely have to make homemade macaroni and cheese. My kids will disown me if it doesn't happen. Like, that's the one thing every year.
I feel like I need that recipe, Janice. Just saying.
Okay.
Somehow mac and cheese stumbles onto our table every year, and it's always delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's going to get mad about that.
No, not at all. I'll shoot that over to you, Jax.
Send it to me,
Mine's
too.
Mine's going to be a little non-traditional, but jalapeno poppers.
Ooh.
Okay, very
nice.
appetizer.
You can put those at any meal. They just kind of work their way right in.
You can't fire.
Absolutely.
What'd you say, Scott?
Poppers.
Hold on, I didn't hear
stuff
Scott.
them with?
Do you cook them over the campfire?
Yes, absolutely. And we stuff them with cream cheese, cheddar cheese, and then you layer it with or wrap them up with bacon and throw them on the grill.
I was going to say, guys, do you get wrong with cheese and bacon ever? Like, I just feel like those two things go so well together.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Audra, wrap us up before break here.
Well, it's always been cream corn casserole as well, and that's because of my son. But I will say the last about 4 or 5 years, I've made a cranberry salsa. If you haven't made a cranberry salsa, look up a recipe. It's amazing. It'll be on your counter for days, and people will eat more cream cheese, cranberries, and crackers than they probably should, but it's delicious.
You can't go wrong with that. So
I might want that recipe.
Yeah, I think
good.
we need to share all this.
Actually,
we should share recipes.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, more Thanksgiving talk, so stick around. We'll be right back on a special edition of the Community Difference Plano and Wylie.
The Community Difference Plano was made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Cassel with Cassel to Cassel, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Traci Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jax Crider with PBJ Mortgage, Megan Schoffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured, Jeannie Smith with Guardian Mortgage, a division of Sunflower Bank, N.A., and by Audra Hooper with Alloy Personal Training at the Glen Eagles Plano and Castle Hills locations. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
All righty. Welcome back. One thing that we didn't talk about this in the pre-show, but it just came to me. Just real quick before we get into our next question. Okay, we talked about your favorite dish. What is the, and just give me like the one dish, the name. What is the one dish that you can just live without, that somebody brings every year that you're like, no, thank you. We don't have to mention who it is. You don't have to throw them under the bus, but, or just something that you're just not interested in that seems to come to the Thanksgiving table. What is it?
I said green bean casserole.
No,
I am right there with you, Jax. I cannot stand it. I don't care who makes it.
No, it's gross, y'all. Gross.
You guys, come on. Well, you haven't had mine. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. Do you have one, Tracy or Diane?
Turkey. I'm not a turkey fan.
I actually will second that, Tracy.
All the sides, and the only thing about the turkey that I might like would be the leg, but I never would get that. So
Tracy, the pilgrims are rolling over in their grave right now. That is not.
That's not right.
We're just gonna have to let you
That
go. You
is
can go.
right.
Tracy's excuse for the Thanksgiving episode.
She's like, I need to rest anyways. Harvey, what about you?
Same way, I do not like turkey. I don't like the traditional. Let's throw a steak on the grill, do some jalapeno
Thanks,
poppers.
Harvey.
What the heck's wrong with you people?
I was gonna say, I agree though. Y'all, turkey is just weird and dry.
Well,
why?
yeah,
It just hasn't
for
been
sure,
cooked well.
for sure.
Oh my gosh.
For sure, it can be cooked poorly and
Yeah.
dry,
And-
but like
and
the turkey
consider-
leg that you get at the fair is always delicious and moist. Like, yeah,
That's
you can
different.
certainly ruin turkey. I agree with that. But
You can
what
ruin
if you do
anything.
like? Has anybody ever had a turducken?
No, but I want to.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
One time, never again.
What
Really?
is it?
Why?
It was awful.
Really?
Yes, it was terrible.
John
We had
Madden
fun
always said
saying
it
that
was gonna
that's
be
what we
delicious.
ate, though.
Well, that's
Okay.
Scott.
yeah,
What about
be
you?
careful.
Anything that you can do without?
Brother, I just like food.
That's like, just bring it, all of it.
Try it all. And there
Like
are good turkeys, bad turkeys. But you get John Sherburne to fry a turkey at the fire station, and you will like turkey.
Yes. Amen.
I was gonna say one of my best years was the year that I had the fire station cook the turkey. So I'll agree, Scott. Maybe the firemen are the only excellent turkey cookers.
Fireman cook some food.
So I'll tell you guys, my husband cooked our turkey in our air fryer last year, the oven air fryer.
Ooh.
That
And
makes
it
a
was
difference.
the absolute best turkey I've ever had in my life. It was moist days later.
Wow.
Started out
Very
there.
good to know. Pro tips from Janice, guys.
Well, this is kind of a fun question. Does anybody have a story of like a Thanksgiving mishap? Something that didn't go well?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, everyone's hand. Okay,
Yeah.
let's start with Janice.
Well, I have two. One, I dropped the entire tray of macaroni and cheese on the floor. So that was good.
Did
Completely.
you salvage any
The
of it?
dogs were so excited.
There was no
It was just
salvaging.
done?
It was
Oh,
done.
gosh.
But my big one was when I decided I wanted to try to make y'all ever make a ham that's been cured in salt that you don't know you're supposed to rinse it first?
Oh,
One of
no.
those, like it comes in a big canvas bag. I had a huge crowd coming and I had no idea. So we cooked it, put it on the table, all this. There was so much salt in that dang thing. We ate zero meat that day. Zero meat.
Just a big sip of the ocean, basically.
You guys were
Pretty
sucking
much,
down the
yeah.
water.
Yes. So I had
Sucking
this
it down.
$50 ham sitting on the table that we could not touch. And I was like, guess I'll be cutting it up for beans for, the rest of my life. Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah, for real. You'll have plenty of flavoring for green beans forever.
Forever.
Give some to Diane. That should be.
Yeah.
What? Who else? Tracy, you
I
had
have one that is crazy. It's for those of you that know me well enough, and most everybody does here. I love to put on an elegant dinner for the family, and so it's not by the campfire. Harvey, those are times that are not for my Thanksgiving dinner, but so I deck the table out and I prepare for days. And so I decided one year that I was going to use foil pans instead of using my casserole dishes because I didn't want to go through the work of cleaning them afterwards.
Hence my
That is a pain, ladies, is it not? So,
Like a smart
so I
man.
decided to use these big foil pans and I put all of the mashed potatoes. So I cooked the mashed potatoes on the stovetop. Then I put them in this big foil pan and I did all of the good stuff, the butter and blah, blah, all that stuff. I'm not giving you my recipe, but I put all that stuff in there and I baked them. and everybody is getting ready to come and do the walkthrough. You know, we do like a buffet line. Everybody's getting ready to come to the kitchen, and I take the pan out of the oven, and the minute I lifted it up, the weight of the potatoes, and I didn't double aluminum foil pan. I did a single.
Oh, yeah.
The minute I lifted it up, the pan went like this. It twisted on itself from the heat and the weight, and it ended up upside down on my kitchen floor. I was horrified. Well, first of all, because my sister brought her dog.
Yeah, that dog was
dinner,
thrilled.
and I'm like, okay, dogs don't belong at Thanksgiving dinners, folks. Not when I'm having a formal dinner. And so the dog is trying to get to the potatoes. And I'm screaming at my sister, telling her to get her damn dog out of the kitchen. And I am scooping up, literally, I took the top half of the potatoes that had fallen on the floor and put them back in a pan so that we would have potatoes to eat.
5-second rule. There's a 5.
Amen.
Your floors must be real clean, baby.
Amen, brother.
You could have done that at my house.
Diane, that is exactly how I dropped my mac and cheese. Exactly. I just cried. Just sit there.
My story doesn't have to do with food, guys. It has to do with my inability to do exercise.
Turkey trot.
Okay, let's
Kind
hear
of.
that.
So, remember I told you that lots of random people end up coming to Thanksgiving, and we had my dad's crazy cousin Mac. He is basically like my grandfather's age, basically. And we were in a competition to see who could do the best ab wheel rolling thing. You guys know the ab wheel?
Yep.
And so we were on hardwood floor, so there was like a little pad to put your knees on. Right. And I am not athletically inclined in any sense. Whereas Audra is like the good athletic one. No, not me. I am a klutz. There's reasons I don't play games that involve, basketballs and things like this. I can't do any of that. So I rolled out and I rolled back up, and I was very proud of myself. And they're like, you didn't go all the way flat. So I rolled back out and I rolled back up. And when I did, I pulled too hard and I bonked my chin like this on the hardwood floor. And I split my whole chin open right here, bleeding really badly. I had to put my hand right here. We had to go get stitches. So, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Jacqueline is
That's horrible.
Nothing improves Thanksgiving like a little blood.
Yes, it was great. It was great.
It just sounds like security to me.
Job security. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were telling us how they have more people on holidays come into the hospital than any other time.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
True.
Makes sense.
We got about 1 minute before our next break. Anybody have another story?
Yeah, my first year of college, I could not go home. I couldn't afford it, timing and all of that. So I told my roommate I was going to make Thanksgiving dinner. That was my first problem. I should never have said that. So to make this short, I did all the things that you're supposed to do to the turkey. So I thought. And because I was clueless of how to make stuffing, I bought a box of stovetop stuffing to stuff inside the turkey, which I did.
Rookie mistake.
And cooked the turkey. All the other stuff was going on. We go to cut the turkey. I'm taking the stuffing out of the turkey. No one told me that there were gizzards in a bag, liver, and all that crap. So all that got cooked in with the stovetop stuffing and the turkey, and then nobody would eat the turkey. So there you go. Maybe that's why I don't like turkey.
That's just Christmas.
There you go.
Audra, wrap us up.
Oh man, my story is too long for 1 minute.
Well, we'll do it on the other side. We'll come back.
All right.
We'll come back on the other side of the break. So we're going to go to break here. When we come back, we'll continue our incredible Thanksgiving talk. Actually, be thinking of this question: 3 people from history that if you could invite them to your Thanksgiving dinner, you would absolutely love that. So stick around. We'll be right back.
The Community Difference Wylie is made possible by Scott Johnson with FireBoss Realty, Janice Greenley with Greenroot Capital, And by Harvey Loosier with Twilight Cleaning Services. The Community Difference Wylie. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
All righty, welcome back. We are. I actually want to hear. I want to hear Audra's story. So hopefully, you guys will have some time to let the wheels turn of that question that I asked before the break. But Audra, yeah, let me hear this. Unfortunate.
All right, I'm going to try to do it. You know how episodes of Friends always have a title, the one with whatever?
Yes.
A couple years ago, we had a Thanksgiving that was the one with the maggots.
No.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So
that's never good anywhere in any story.
I'm cleaning my house top to bottom. I'm hosting. The whole family's coming. Everybody's kind of trickling in on different days. And right before the first arrivals come, in the middle of my entryway, there's a few maggots on the floor. It didn't make any sense to me. My house is spotless. It's not even anywhere near the kitchen. There's no rotting food anywhere, but it freaks me out. And of course I start like bleaching the whole house and cleaning and everything. And then company arrives. Well, a few hours later, I find some more maggots. This proceeds to happen over the next 2 or 3 days. I keep finding one or two in places that don't make any sense. It's right in the entryway. There's no food around. It doesn't make it. I think it's a prank. I'm making my husband check the vents. I'm so freaked out. And at first I was trying not to tell the guests. And finally I was like, I don't know what's happening. Someone is dropping maggots on the floor. It makes no sense to me. I am being punked.
Blame it on the guests.
Cameras. Like I can't figure it out. And I'm so grossed out. You know, you feel them like crawling on you. What ended up happening was my daughter after school, when I would go pick her up, we'd walk and she would put acorns in her pocket. And she had a little collection of acorns that she had put in a box. I had used said box to prop up some decorations, to add some height to decorations. Well, inside acorns, inside a box are maggots that are budding and coming out. So they were crawling off that countertop, falling onto the floor from, I don't even know, they had been there a couple of weeks. So it was her. And I had no idea that little box was full of acorns and maggots. So we still talk about the one with the maggots.
That you actually made me
stop that.
Yeah, that sounds.
That's gonna be at the top of the list, Audra. That is creepy.
Don't let your kids come home with acorns in their pockets.
No, or at least don't put them in a box. So you actually reminded me of something, and I'll be real quick, and we'll go to our next question. But when we lived, before I got married, I lived in a big house on a golf course with a bunch of other guys. It was kind of like a bachelor pad, but we didn't treat it like that. We actually took really nice care of it, which was good. Before Lyndon got married and before I got married, he actually lived with us for a short period of time. So it was pretty awesome. And we had decorated for Thanksgiving and had some, because I was big on decorating. So I did all the decorating, which is weird. We had some like corn and basically what our background looks like here, that kind of looking stuff on top of our, it's like a china cabinet type thing in our dining room. And I don't know where they came from, but I'm sitting upstairs one night and a mouse just across the floor. And that's better than a cockroach, I'm gonna be honest with you, because cockroach, I'd burn the house down at that point. But so I'm like, a mouse, that's cute and terrifying. Where did that come from? And so basically they had come through the walls, and like the thing that
they wanted your corn, bro.
Yeah,
they did.
They were
eating. The mice were feasting on our Thanksgiving before we were, basically. And so we had to we got rid of all of it, and I plugged up a hole that they were coming through, and I guess they just didn't have any food, so they left. We never had a problem with it again. But you made me think about that, because that's just, I completely forgot about it. So I was still nervous at Thanksgiving. I'm like, I'm just waiting for one to like run across the table and just freak everybody out. So thank God that did not happen. But okay, so
let me jump in with one more, because mine was on national TV.
Okay, go ahead. Oh gosh.
Oh.
When I was EMS supervisor, my station was right by Texas Stadium, and so we could go to everything. I got my Suburban, drive down, park in the tunnel, walk down on the field. So Thanksgiving Day, my middle boy, he's all about football. He's in high school. He drives over to the station. He gets in the Suburban with me. We go out to Texas Stadium. I park in the tunnel. We go down on the field, and he is having a day, man. It's just like to be on the field at Texas Stadium, be a high school football.
Oh yeah.
Like it's big time. We're standing there watching stuff. Jerry Jones' daughter comes by. She's kind of the sideline Nazi. And she looked at him kind of funny, and she said, "Who are you?" And I said, "He's with me." And she just kind of gave him a, "Yeah, I bet he is." And she knew what was going on, but she had already scolded him once. And we're watching the game. He's standing there. He had talked to some of his friends that were there. So he's the big shot on the field while they're up, in the end zone. And play stops. An official starts waving his hands and running straight at my son. He is standing in front of the 30-second clock at the end of the end zone, and play can't continue until this kid gets out of the way of the clock.
Oopsie.
Oh, yikes.
Wow.
Oh gosh. Did it made it on TV?
I was at the game, so I don't know if it was TV or not, but things like that typically make it on TV.
Sure.
Oh gosh. That's
a good one.
Really funny. That is really funny. Let's actually do this. Let's go to we've got a couple sponsors we want to show love to. We'll go to that when we come back. We'll address the question: 3 people living or dead that you'd like to have at your Thanksgiving table this year. So stick around. We'll be right back on the special edition of the Community Difference Plano and Wylie, the wonderful Thanksgiving special.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible. At FireBoss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, FireBoss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit FireBossRealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back to a special edition of the Community Difference Plano and the Community Difference Wylie, the special Thanksgiving edition. We are excited to just have a fun, casual conversation talking all things Thanksgiving. Right now, the question was asked, top 3 people, living or dead, that you would have at your Thanksgiving table. We'll try to keep the why to a minimum just so we can make sure to get to everybody. But for me, one is George Washington. I'm reading a book on him right now, and also one of my favorite presidents. The other is living, Tucker Carlson, and the other is not living. It would be Rush Limbaugh. So those are my 3 people that I would have at my Thanksgiving Day table. Jax, let's go to you.
That's a good question. I would probably say Louise May Alcott. She's the woman who wrote Little Women. Probably a lot of mine would be authors, maybe. Golly, I'm trying to think of a couple of others. I probably also would maybe have a president. I would like to learn maybe, well, actually, no, not a president. Thomas Edison, just because he tried so many times and failed. And then I don't know who my third would be. Probably also somebody dead though. I feel like I can get to the people who are alive. I can make that. I can manifest that.
Okay. Well, be thinking of your third person while we go to Janice.
So, I mean, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ first. I don't know why.
Janice, you can't just, you can't make us all look bad. That's just
whatever. That's on you. No,
that's fair. I thought that was given. He's already there, Janice. You don't. It doesn't.
All right. I'll pick 4. No, my mom. She's been gone for 12 years, so I would love to chat with my mom again. I wouldn't mind George Washington at my table. Frankly, I love history. And Jax, I agree with your Louisa May Alcott. Little Women is one of my favorites. So my list could go on and on and on forever, but those are some pretty good choices already.
Janice, I'll let you borrow the book I'm reading called His Excellency.
Okay.
When we're done, I think you'll really enjoy it. Traci.
Yeah, I was going the personal route. I'd love to have mom and dad back. That's kind of brings it all home. And Grandpa Al, but to go on the famous route, I think Maya Angelou. I think.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she'd be a real interesting.
That would be interesting.
It might be more than just dinner table. That it would take a while, but yeah, that would be.
It'd be a very poetic Thanksgiving for sure.
Exactly, we would definitely let her say the blessing.
Sure.
Audra.
Oh, Traci stole one of mine. Maya Angelou would be amazing. I would love for both of my grandfathers to be there. I feel like they died when I was fairly young, and I should have asked them a lot more in-depth questions than a 10-year-old thinks to ask. Going the president route, probably Abraham Lincoln. And if I had to throw one biblical character in there, of course Jesus, but Moses.
Oh, that's a good
Moses probably would be the top aside of Jesus. Maybe David. David's also doing.
Yeah,
awesome.
True.
I was going to say my third might be Esther. I actually think some of the women in the Bible are really cool.
That would be a great conversation.
Esther would be a good one. Harvey.
Well, you stole mine with King David. He would be high on my list, but I'd also look at the Apostle Paul. I would definitely love to be able to sit down with him. And then both of my grandparents, I'd love to have them at my Thanksgiving dinner for sure. So,
if Paul comes to your Thanksgiving dinner, wouldn't you feel terrible about like any complaining that you did about anything? Just be like, I've been in prison and shipwrecked and stabbed and beaten and eventually killed.
Right.
Right. And you can't get along with your uncle. Like, what's going on here, buddy?
Right.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Who we got? Diane and Scott left. Diane.
Oh, Lord. Biblical, I'm going to pick Ruth.
Ruth would be another great one.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go with Nelson Mandela.
Okay.
Oh.
And then I'm going to go with Martin Luther King Jr.
Hey.
Also good.
Wrong there.
Good job. Yep.
Scott.
That dinner table.
Well, Jesus is always welcome at my table. I mean, he's there anyway. I'd love to have him live and in person.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Tucker Carlson because I think he's fascinating to listen to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also going to go with Elon Musk because who knows what's on in his brain.
Right.
True.
What Jesus has to say to Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk.
So you
Put that on a podcast.
The conversation of the 3. Okay, I like that.
I would just sit back and listen to that conversation. And see.
Eating your pink puff or your pink fluff or whatever, right?
The fluff. What'd you call pink stuff?
It's called pink stuff.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I think fluff just sounds like insulation. Like that doesn't sound like something that you'd want to have at your table.
Or like cotton candy.
So this question is maybe for, we're kind of all at different stages here, but how do you balance celebrating Thanksgiving traditions with creating new ones as your family grows or changes? And maybe you can talk about how you did that when you were younger, when you got married, or as your kids are starting to kind of have their own celebrations. How do you balance, holding on to the things that are really important to you and then letting them experience, new things with their families? Whoever wants to jump in first there.
I'll jump in. I have little ones still,
Okay,
like mid-level age. I think it's like a tapestry, right? We weave in traditions from my childhood, from my husband's childhood, from what's important to both of our families, and then create our own. We actually like to travel around Thanksgiving, and what we've done for many years is take a little trip right before Thanksgiving. So maybe I'm a crazy person, but we will sneak away the Thursday to Sunday before and then come home usually around Sunday to Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and then I host. So we get this fun little sneak away, just us. And then we also get to bring in all the traditions and spend time with the family.
I like that a lot.
Awesome. Yeah,
I like that a lot. Scott, what you were going to say something?
Yeah, we've decided that we're not going to. We've seen a lot of families that you have to be here, and we're not going to be those people. So we've decided to be flexible. With the fire department schedule, you had to be anyway. So we flex a lot on what the kids are going to do because my kids are all in their 30s now, and I did laugh this year. One of my daughter-in-laws always does the stuffing. It's her family's stuffing. It's her tradition. She's going to do that. And my oldest boy just got engaged. And when the text went out, hey, who's bringing what? His fiance said, hey, I'll bring stuffing. And it was just entertaining to watch the text thread because she didn't know stepped on the stuffing.
She didn't what? What about?
Well, she just stepped in the middle of who was going to bring stuffing, and that was not her place, and somebody already had stuffing done.
It's a stuffing showdown.
I just sit back and laugh at it.
Who else?
I'm going to say, since we had the typical, like everybody, Thanksgiving with in-laws and my folks and all that, but once my son Tanner got married, had started his family, his wife and family are from Guatemala. So we started going to their home for Thanksgiving, and it has evolved. We're 7 years in now. It's evolved into this greatness, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but they all love when Traci brings the white people food. And the cream corn,
awesome.
and cheese, all of that kind of stuff. So it's comical, but it's great.
White people food.
So I have one. I don't even know how to follow that. I'm still cracking up. That is hilarious.
That is funny.
That's why your Jeep says the black Jeep of the family.
There
I
you
love
go.
it. So mine is, I take life pretty serious and sometimes too serious, and I take myself too serious, as you know. And for me, the blessing has been grandchildren.
Mm.
And so what I've done the last year, so this is very new for me, to try to lay back and not be so serious about everything coming out perfect, timing wise, meal wise, all that. I get everything done last year before my grandchildren hit the door so that I could focus on them. And that is the plan again this year moving forward.
Good job.
I'm trying to picture elegant and grandchildren.
I don't think the fancy china is coming out right now, Scott. I mean, maybe.
Well, I will tell you that I am a strict disciplinarian, as I'm sure you're not shocked.
It surprises all of us. We're all over
what?
here, just can't believe
What's
it.
happening?
Can't believe it.
Wow. Well, for me, I'm actually very traditional. Like, it was one of the things that I one of the holiday, not fights, but it's, I'm always like, well, we did this growing up, and Kate's always like, well, we did this growing up, and I'm very tied to traditions in holidays. In religion, not so much, but in holidays, yes. So it's kind of challenging, honestly, because when we've spent time with them for Thanksgiving, and they may hear this, I love her family to death, but just not having football part of Thanksgiving, like trying to watch on my phone secretly when no one's looking, it just doesn't have the same feel. But they obviously do other things that are great. And so, like I talked about earlier with games and I haven't got to the point, where maybe Scott or Diane, as far as what my children will do one day, how I'll feel about that. Then we'll have to circle back. Maybe we'll do a reunion show at that point in 25 years. Lord, I'll be here. That'll be good.
I was going to say for me,
half of us will be in assisted living with me. So.
Well, at least we know what you
don't worry, Traci. We'll come visit you. We'll bring the microphones. Okay?
Thank you.
But certainly, I obviously try to be open because I know all these, other things. This is how they feel about their stuff. So, usually I'm a very whatever happens kind of person, except for like holiday traditions. And so, we are the people that we decorate for Christmas on November 1st. And I know that might be sacrilegious to some of you, but
it is.
That's why that's how we roll. So.
Each holiday gets 1 month of decorations.
Exactly.
Well, and we used to do that. Used to be a Thanksgiving tradition growing up, that like on Black Friday or the Saturday, as growing up in my parents' house, we would then get all the Christmas stuff out and decorate. But Christmas, especially as an adult, December goes by so fast that I'm like, then it's gone. I've put all this work up for nothing. So we go from November 1st through Epiphany, which is the baptism of Jesus. We're not Catholic, but still January 6th, because it's the ending of the Christmas season. And I don't know. That's just how we roll. We're going to take our last break. When we come back, what is the one thing that you are especially grateful for this year, and how has it impacted your life or your perspective? One thing you're especially grateful for this year, and how has it impacted your life or perspective? We'll be right back as we wrap up this special Thanksgiving edition of the Community Difference Plano and the Community Difference Wylie.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
We are Cloud Staff, enabling remarkable growth for businesses everywhere with our pioneering enterprise-grade remote work solutions. We are on a mission to help business owners scale while reducing costs by matching you with an amazing staff, mobilizing your team, and helping manage business performance, making us the #1 workplace as remote work gets done. Connect with us to access the world's top talent and discover how we can enable remarkable growth for your business.
And now, back to the show.
All right. So in the break, did we lose somebody? Oh, we lost Audra for a second. Hopefully she'll be back on. In the break, I got a message from Harvey. We have to hear this story real quick, Harvey. The turkey fryer in the house incident, real quick, if you can.
Well, you kind of have to picture this. This was back in my 20s when deep frying first come out, frying a turkey first came out, and I was very, if I can use the word, ignorant. I didn't have a clue of what I was doing in my 20s. And so I decided that we're going to fry a turkey this year because I don't like turkey anyway. So we wanted to try something different. And so I buy a big pot, and we have a gas stove. And so I fill this pot up with oil. And so now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this turkey into the pot that's, chest high on a stove. So I'm standing up on a chair. Oh. And so now I'm figuring out, well, how am I going to keep the grease from popping on me? So then I take a.
I was going to say, Scott's having flashbacks of what he had to go rescue.
I'm cringing.
No, it's killing me.
So I had to take a clothes hanger and tie it around the leg.
No,
I'm standing on top of a chair, and I'm letting this into the grease, and my wife is just looking at this like, what is going on? Because grease is like going everywhere. And then I come to the conclusion by the time I get it to the bottom that I have way too much grease in this pot. And so it's
no.
And luckily, Scott, as a fireman, I didn't catch anything on fire, but I made one heck of a mess for my wife to have to clean up, which I helped, of course, but it was awful. It was awful.
I was going to say it could be way, way worse.
I've been on that run probably 10 times.
So
that's what I was going to say. You're giving Scott flashbacks. He's like, oh gosh, the turkey frying incident.
There's like 17 red flags in that story. The first one is turkey fryer inside. Is red flag number 1. So, well, thank you, Harvey. That makes me feel better about any debacles that we had at Thanksgiving. So
yeah,
I love that. Well, let's wrap up here. What is the one thing this year specifically that you're most thankful for, and how has it impacted your life or perspective? I'll start and give you guys a chance to think. So I'm very grateful, and obviously we're grateful for our family, and certainly always want to be grateful for that. But specifically in this season, for me, is people that are willing to speak into your life and just help guide you on the right path and make sure things are going well in all of your relationships. And I'm obviously grateful to have an amazing spouse and partner as we raise our children, and just grateful for the seasons of growth and excitement that I get to see in young children's eyes that are 4 and 2 years old. It's just an exciting time. Diane.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm grateful to God for leaning on my heart this year. He's been really leaning on my heart pretty heavy. Because I'm a little stubborn, so he has to.
Wait a second, what?
Huh?
We had no idea.
Sometimes. I know. I'm here to make you laugh.
Very well.
So he's really been leaning in my heart the whole year about doing people math. And what I mean by that is losing the people that do not serve you.
Good.
And there's just not a good formula there. And I believe in circling the wagons and circling yourself with people that will lift you up and also stretch you to do the things that you should be doing if you're a true servant of God.
Excellent. Janice.
So I have 2 grandbabies, and up until earlier this year, I was partial babysitter a couple days a week, watching them 11-hour days, long days, along with building our businesses. And I am so grateful that my daughter-in-law and my son have decided that my daughter-in-law is going to stay home and watch those babies on a full-time basis. So now I get to be fun grandma, not babysitter, have to make the rules grandma. And that just changes everything in the way I can interact with those babies that are, 2 and I have a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old grandbaby, and I am loving the new role, and I'm grateful for that.
Amazing. Let's go to Jax.
So I would say that I'm super thankful for people who have not been afraid to speak into me this year and give me permission to sort of step into my own and allow me to have a voice that I sort of hid for a long time or was afraid to sort of step into. And so just people kind of speaking into my life and being a part of my tribe. And I kind of don't disagree with Diane, like kind of people math, sort of deciding and realizing that there are certain people in your life who are there to kind of help you along your path. And there's other people that maybe we should leave in that section of the path, right, and keep walking. And so I'm just very thankful for, people like all of you guys who, as we've grown together and learned more and more and showcased our businesses in ways that, we wouldn't have thought of ourselves, right? We wouldn't have thought of ourselves. And so, getting in those rooms where the thinking out things to you has just been a great, I've been very appreciative of that this year.
That's wonderful. That's great perspective. I love that. Harvey.
Well, mine's a little different. And, we're a blended family of 7 kids. And so I have 6 girls and 1 son.
Oh, wow.
And my son got married. I know, right? He got married a couple of years ago, and they've been trying to have children. And so January of this year, he had my grandson. Now I have 3 grandsons and 1 granddaughter, but something about, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but now I have someone to carry my last name. And to me, that's something that's been huge and always weighed on my heart. And for that to take fruition this year was a blessing from God.
That's incredible. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Absolutely. Audra.
Well, for me, you're not surprised by this, Nathan, because you've known me a while. I'm grateful for challenges. I guess that's just the growth-oriented person in me, but the greater the challenge, the greater the opportunity to overcome. And I think as stressful as it is in the moment, making big decisions or just dealing with things that were unanticipated or just problems, you kind of find out what you're made of and you discover new strengths and new resiliency inside yourself, and you can carry that with you forward. So I'm grateful for those challenges.
Well, I think, anytime we're in business for ourselves, those are going to come. So it's good. It's good to be grateful for them because they're hard to escape. They're definitely hard to escape. I love that. Traci.
Yeah. So this has been a very grateful thing for me the last couple of years and will be every year. Back in 2013, I was diagnosed with lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and thyroid disease. And after battling lots of pharmaceuticals and treatments and all of that, for the last 2 years, I have been off all of the drugs. I have really learned how our bodies are meant to heal themselves. I say this as I'm going through a 2-week-long respiratory thing, but I will always be thankful for that because I'm healthier now than I was before I was diagnosed. So
that's amazing. That's incredible. Definitely something to be grateful for there. Scott, if you'll obviously give us yours, but then as the host of the Wylie Show, if you'll wrap us up and sign us off for today, maybe give us a Thanksgiving blessing or something, that would be amazing. But I'll let you go and then just kind of close us out if you would.
All right. I do spend this time of year, pretty much every year, being a little bit more reflective about gratitude and what I'm grateful for. I get out here on my patio, which is where I'm at right now. It's kind of my quiet spot, but there's a hot tub sitting right over here around the corner, and it's dark outside and it's kind of cool this time of year. When I get in that hot tub, I call it my think tank. And I spend a lot of time just thinking. There's maybe some low music on or something, but just the other night I was doing what am I grateful for thing, and I came up with just names. Carl Smith, who's a guy who he sort of adopted a 19-year-old kid and taught him how to be just a godly man. Or there's another guy, Gary Shepard, who taught me about finance and what biblical finance looks like, and taught me to have an internal perspective instead of just be focused on materialistic things or building bigger or better or becoming somebody. He taught me to look into eternity instead of just focus on this 80 years here on earth. And so those are the kinds of things that I've been processing lately. I actually called Gary. I hadn't talked to Gary Shepard in 20 years. And so I had to go roundabout to find contact information either, but we're going to go out and grab lunch on the 5th, and I'm going to tell him the things that he's done and the people he's impacted because of what he did through us. So
that's incredible.
That when we
that's awesome.
And we go looking at what are you grateful for? I mean, it goes back to life as relationships for me. Always goes back to life as relationships, and it's those people in my past that have, planted a seed or taught me something or told me when I was being stupid and selfish. And, we all have those.
Yeah.
If we listen to those people, they're generally right.
Yes, we do.
Those people are generally right. So, just, I guess this year, my focus is around those kinds of people, and I'll be making several phone calls and just telling those people, hey, here's what you did, and you may not even know it, but here's the impact you had. Because
I love that.
And then we go to their funeral and say great things. I'd rather just tell them while they're still here.
Amen.
But that's kind of where I've been this year in the gratefulness piece. I appreciate y'all being here. I love the stories. I love hearing about, all of the food that's been dropped and the house that we tried to burn down with the turkey fryer. And, I just people's stories and the things that have gone on. And I hope that everybody in the Wylie and the Plano areas have a great holiday season. Yes. Enjoy the people around the table. Kind of like I tell people at weddings, if the wedding goes perfect, nobody remembers it. It's the things that go wrong that you have the stories about. And I think we here today. So it doesn't matter what happens at the Thanksgiving dinner. Enjoy the people that are there and love the people that you're with.
Love it.
Amen. That's so good.
Perfect.
So I appreciate y'all being on. I love working with y'all. And I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, brother.
Thanksgiving, guys.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Plano was made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Cassel with Cassel to Cassel, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Traci Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jax Crider with PBJ Mortgage, Megan Schoffer with the Hive of the Happily Insured, Jeannie Smith with Guardian Mortgage, a division of Sunflower Bank, N.A. And by Audra Hooper with Alloy Personal Training at the Glen Eagles Plano and Castle Hills locations. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference.